Up at Fenway, the 0-2.
Breslow magic underway. 5 wins in a row for the Red Sox. World Series back on. That's where we start tonight on the Baseball Hour. Matt McCarthy in for Tony Mazz. I will just note that, of course, NBA free agency or the tampering period, however you want to describe it, is beginning as we speak. So if there's any breaking news, we will keep you posted. We'll butt in with our wonderful breaking news sounder throughout the program tonight and let you know if anything goes down in the NBA, especially, of course, on the Jaylen Brown front. Kind of seems to be crickets there, but it is what it is. We'll get to it. If we need to interrupt the discussion with the man, my tribal chief and yours, Jared Carrabis, who's presented by Blue Moon Belgian White, served with its iconic orange slice ritual. Blue Moon is a one-of-a-kind game day beer experience. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly. Are you ready to break down NBA trades on this program tonight, Jared?
Yeah, I love basketball.
Sure.
Yep, it's one of my favorite sports.
Yeah, it's one of the 5 major sports in America. I mean, after soccer and baseball.
Jerry Buckets on the line.
That's right. Can we just talk about how Tyler Milliken called you his baseball podcast tribal chief? Can we address that right off the rip here?
Oh, right. Did he say that on Nesson last week with me? Is that right?
He did. I was literally in the other room. It wasn't even like he couldn't have been thinking of me at the time. Like, he said that, and I was maybe down the hall, which I don't know how you feel about it.
Jared, can you do me a favor? And I hate to do this on the air, but could you ask Tyler very politely the next time you talk to him to respond to a message? It's been 3 weeks.
I mean, so here's the behind the scenes there. So he's doing TV with Matt McCarthy, and I'm texting him after he's done with his appearance, being like, "Hey, you here yet? Hey, me and Coley are preparing for Unobstructed Views." He's not answering me, and then I go down the hall, and he's just yapping in the Nesson office. I'm like, and he was tweeting as well. I'm sure that this was definitely a problem that happened at 98.5 The Sports Hub many times with Tyler Milliken. But it's like he's yapping to people in the office. He's tweeting, but he can't return a text message. I almost returned a sender, sent him back to you guys.
Well, Jared, if you do talk to him, when you do talk to him, let him know that I have a business idea that I'd like to propose to him.
I mean, you should come to me with that business idea, because I know how to speak Tyler in a way where I don't think he's going to be able to understand the intelligence in which you speak.
I don't, and I'm a little heartbroken.
I understand that. Just know that it's not you. It's everybody.
Well, yeah, he's run off to better places, Jimmy.
I understand.
Jared gets his time.
Nesson?
It's with you, Carrabis, with you. Yeah, pardon me for taking a half hour with my dear baseball wife after the program and taking him away from you, Carrabis, last Friday.
That's me.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Enough grab ass.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. Have the Red Sox turned it around, Jared? Very simple question.
No. I mean, if you think about it, it should be an 8-game winning streak, right? What's today? Tuesday? A week ago today, we were in Colorado playing the Rockies and losing 2 out of 3 to that team. That was a week ago. Mm-hmm. I can't say that they magically found something here. I mean, they blew the game on Sunday night. They came back and won, and that's admirable, and it was great to see, and it was fun to watch, but they almost blew that game. So, no, what I do think, though, is what you can kind of talk me into is maybe adding a bat or bats at the deadline, because, there's been years in the past where the Red Sox have been in last place, and it's like, okay, this clearly is not a good baseball team, where the issue would be they'll go through a week stretch where they can pitch and they can't hit, and then they'll go through a stretch where they can hit and they can't pitch, and then when they can pitch and hit, then they can't play defense. That's the sign of a bad team. But the team that we're watching is they just can't hit. They've got 12 straight quality starts. I don't know if you saw the tweet that I had last night or the other night. If you take their current rotation, right? So this is without Garrett Crochet, Peyton Tolley, Connolly Early, Ranger Suarez, Sonny Gray, and Jake Bennett. Those 5 pitchers combined this season have a 3.01 ERA. The best starting staff in baseball is the Milwaukee Brewers. It's a 3.16 ERA. So as composed currently, you take out the bad start for Garrett Crochet, you take out Brian Bayo's contributions, whatever the hell that was, and you, Boston Red Sox, have the best rotation top to bottom in Major League Baseball. So, there have been years where the Red Sox have been in last place, and it's like, okay, yeah, blow this thing up. It's not worth it. This team, it really is just the offense. Most importantly, at home, they don't have guys that like lefties that want to go the Green Monster's right there. How do you not have a lefty power bat that's just scraping the wall? They're outs in other ballparks, they're doubles at Fenway Park, and I know David Ortiz made it seem small going out to right field. Fine, take your doubles the other way. It's Fenway. They've built a team on pitching and defense, which is great. But neglecting the offense part of the equation is criminal. So to your point, or to your question, McCarthy, I don't think this team is a lost cause. I just think that they are horrendously constructed from an offensive standpoint where, I'm not going to name names because I don't want to make people feel bad, but on a nightly basis, tuning in and seeing them talk about the lineup, here's tonight's batting order brought to you by whoever. And you're like, this is a 4A lineup. It's not a AAA lineup. It's not these guys belong in Worcester and they shouldn't be in the big leagues, but it's predominantly made up of 4A players. This is the Boston Red Sox. If you had an offseason where you kept Alex Bregman and you traded for Wilson Contreras and then you signed Pete Alonso to DH or whatever, that is a team that would arguably be in first place right now. That's a first place team. That's all you really had to do is bring in a couple more bats. And, it would have been nice if Roman Anthony were healthy. He's not. But even if the season played out the same way with him getting hurt, you're in a much better spot if you were more prepared offensively.
I know Alex Bregman is one of your best friends in the whole wide world, but he hasn't exactly lit the world on fire in Chicago this year.
Well, that's where you're uneducated, Matt McCarthy, because away from Wrigley, he's been pretty damn good. So, if he wouldn't be playing half his games at Wrigley Field if he were with the Boston Red Sox.
So let me get this straight. What I'm hearing from you, Jared, is you would buy for this team. You are still on board with the idea of buying at the deadline or before?
It depends on who you're bringing in. I no half measures. If you're gonna buy, give me guys. Before I came on here, me and Jimmy Stewart were talking about who potentially you could go out and get. Your problem now is that there are so many dumb teams out there that think that they're still in it. The Red Sox might be one of those dumb teams. I don't know. I can't tell you that yes or no. But there are plenty of dumb teams out there that think that they're still in it. And so just going through, I'll tell you what I was looking at. I was looking at road slugging percentage leaders, because if you are so Hunter Goodman, for an example, he's a catcher for the Colorado Rockies. He is leading baseball in road slug, which is shocking because I was just kind of looking for guys leading slugging percent. Yeah, so Coors Field, he sucks there. He's a 200 hitter with a 700 OPS at Coors, but on the road he's one of the best hitters in baseball. So all right, yeah, guys like that. It's teams that are absolutely out of it and would have the conversation. I want to know, can you hit away from the ballpark that you play most of your baseball games at? That's what I look at. Hunter Goodman's a name that came up. There's a few other names. I don't know the availability of some of these guys. The Nationals have a couple of guys that might be able to help, but that's where Craig Breslow makes the big bucks. Is you've got to pick up the phone and start to have conversations with teams. Are you in or are you out? Are you interested in having the conversation or are you not? Is it too soon? Do we have to wait 2 or 3 weeks? Let me tell you who I'm interested in and then call me back once you decide that you want to move on this. I would be putting out feelers for some of these names right now, yes.
What do you make of the reporting from Sean McAdam over the weekend that he talked to another executive around baseball who has not heard anything about the Red Sox buying? He's only hearing about the Red Sox selling. Do you buy in on all of that?
Well, I know that there was a point where there were members of the Red Sox upstairs, let's say, that were talking about buying. And whether or not they picked up the phone and actually made those phone calls, I don't know. But I know that there was a point somewhat recently where they were like thinking big in terms of adding, like I guess like a superstar kind of talent, like that was on the table. But again, it's been a few weeks. I'm not going to sit here and refute or say that Sean's reporting isn't accurate. He's far more of a reporter than most in this market. But would it shock me if because right now you've won the first game against the Nationals. If you go out there and take this series, then you have the Angels after that. I know I sound crazy saying it, but they could get back in this thing. And then it's like, okay, so why wouldn't you buy, right? Like if you can get back into it within these next 2 or 3 weeks here, but it's like, oh, well, why would you do that? They suck. It's like, yeah, no, they have sucked. We agree. Mm-hmm. This team has sucked undoubtedly this season. Bad watch, bad hang. It's been a bad time. However, if they go on a run and get back into it, why would you punt on the season just because you were disappointed with the first few months? If you get to, 2.5 games, and like I said earlier, it's not like a whack-a-mole where it's like one night it's the pitching, one night it's the hitting, one night it's the defense. Like it's just the hitting. If you can upgrade the offense and pair it with one of the best rotations the Red Sox have ever had, why not if you're within striking distance?
So before I ask you what getting back into it actually means and looks like, I do want to follow up on something you just said there about maybe some conversations that higher ups have had about adding, and you described it as a superstar level or type talent. How exactly do you describe that again? Like, is that, I'm just going to throw a name out there, is that a Mike Trout type of thing when you say it's a big name, but maybe not the player he once was? What type of player are you actually talking about there that maybe some higher ups were calling about?
Probably that tier, but younger. Like Mike Trout is like, first of all, Mike Trout's not coming to Boston. He's never coming to Boston. He would have to waive his no trade clause, and I don't know why he would do that to come here. So it takes two to tango there, and he will never tango with this team or any team. I don't think. I think he'll be buried in a Angels uniform. But yeah, I think it's more of the tier of big money contract superstar name who maybe isn't performing like the superstar that got paid kind of thing. But that's not like, I'm not going to sit here and say that that's going to happen either. I don't know what they're going to choose to do. I know what I would do. But I that's kind of what was being thrown about a month ago or so.
I know you can't give me a name. Blink twice if you mean Tatis. That works for radio. Very, 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 very effective. You see what I did there? 617-779-0985. What does getting back into it look like? Do you have a number in mind? What does that look like for you, Carabas?
I think that's a games back kind of thing. And I mean, it really is just, are you playing well? How many games back are you? And can you at least perform consistently? The pitching staff has told you we can do this consistently. It's 12 straight games of being able to turn in a quality start. So they can do this consistently. I think where I have a little bit of concern is the Aroldis Chapman thing, where he's very clearly injured. I think my take on it is he is choosing to pitch through an injury so that he can provide as much value to the Boston Red Sox as he can. I genuinely think he enjoys it here. I think he knows that his name is on the trade block, and he doesn't want to go on the injured list and screw over the Red Sox and be like, well, now you're stuck with me and you can't get anything for me. I think he's one of those guys where, like Chris Sale felt this way. You want me to waive my no trade clause if that'll help the organization? I feel like I owe you that. Then sure, happy to do that. I don't think Chapman owes the Red Sox anything, but I do think that he likes it here. And if there's a world where he gets traded and goes to a contender, he can just come back here if he wants to. I'm sure the Red Sox would have him back. So that to me is the only thing that's mildly concerning, is like, all right, if you buy, aren't you kind of like hanging on for dear life to cash in on some of these guys as access, like a Sonny Gray, all-star. Like he should be an all-star this year. He, he'll be in the Cy Young conversation in the American League if he stays in the American League. Wilson Contreras, another guy having a career year at the age of 34, a guy that typically gets injured, hasn't, knock on wood, hasn't had any serious injuries this year, but like, is having a career year in home runs and OPS and all this stuff. And it's like, well, how sustainable is that? Like, might that net you something nice if you traded Wilson Contreras? I don't know. It's a position that I certainly don't envy, but I can see from both sides.
All right, 617-779-0985. Line it up for Carabas, your questions for him. I do want to ask Jared about a couple of things that happened over the weekend, as he has not been, at least on our airwaves. Of course, he did the Section 10 podcast with our dear friend Tyler Milliken and everybody else, Coley and Peralt, you name it. So check that out. But we'll get Carabas' thoughts on the Yankees series and some of the happenings during the Yankees series. We'll get to all of that as we continue. It's McCarthy in for Mazz with Carabas on the Baseball Hour.
to be strike three. I believe when he hit that home run and he slammed his hands into his chest, he was screaming out Venezuela.
Did he toss Wilson?
And Chet Tracy heading out, wondering who it is. First base umpire is Nick Lentz.
I mean, how soft can you be? You can't. No one can say anything to you. I mean, he went, right? He went. I know it's an emotional night. We've seen that already. Big homer, showing the emotions, trying to see what he says or does or
what would be objectionable enough to merit an ejection.
At least what we saw.
What are we doing?
Did tap his helmet, but
so basically saying I disagree, I'm challenging that, and that you get tossed for that? Are you kidding me?
Wow.
How soft are we getting?
It is an important question from Will Middlebrooks after watching that saga last night. Wilson Contreras getting run by first base umpire Nick Lentz. Jared Carrabis is here. Any thoughts on that situation last night, Jared, before we move back to the Yankee series and a few things that happened there?
Yeah, it was soft. I agreed with Will Middlebrooks. But this guy, didn't he eject Taylor Wells last year for doing the exact same thing? Like I think it was like before they had ABS, he like tapped his helmet and he got tossed for that. So the big mix up for me is like I saw like Alana Rizzo on the post game said that she texted someone at MLB Network and asked for clarification on whether or not that's an automatic ejection if you do that. And the person said no, like there's no rule that says that. But then I saw something else that said that there was a mandate where the players were informed that if you do that, you'll get ejected. So I don't know. I need more clarity on like, is that an automatic ejection or is the guy just being soft? Because, I mean, he's being soft. The fact that you're now the only guy to do that, it leads me to believe it's just a you problem.
I'm not a rip the umpire guy, but yeah, that was pretty ridiculous last night.
Have some feel.
Have a quick question for you, or at least a response to something you said from Chuck and Southie. Hey, Chuck.
Hey, guys. Yeah, I know Mazz has spoken about this before, but have you guys ever heard of Merkel's boner?
Yes, 1912.
Okay, well, I feel like Carrabis' head is filled with it.
I don't like where that's going, but it's a great baseball reference nonetheless. Anything you'd like to add on the 1912 World Series, Carrabis, before we move on?
The Red Sox won it, right?
They did. Was that 1912 or was that? I think Merkel's boner was 1912. We'll effort that. Our crack research team will search on a work computer Merkel's boner.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they won the World Series that year.
They sure did.
Defeated the New York baseball Giants in a 7-game series, 4-3.
An all-time classic. Not as good as the 1924 World Series.
We should get Buck on to talk about it.
I would happily. You know what? I can't believe I've never done a podcast with Buck because
Really?
I love that old school baseball stuff. You want to talk to me about 1960 Game 7? I'm all in. Walter Johnson, 1924 Game 7 of the World Series. Talk to me all day. Smokey Joe Wood, baby. Carrabis, I just got a book on the 1912 Red Sox that I am looking forward to reading. So I'll send it to you after.
I have a Smokey Joe Wood autograph somewhere.
That's legitimately cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, you should play in the old time baseball game. I believe it's August 20th this year.
St. Peter's Field in Cambridge.
You know what?
That's right.
It's a great take.
I've never been. I'd be happy to check it out.
I remember the radio show that Buck. It was on the old 590 of Buckley put it together on a random Thursday afternoon.
And you know what? I will say, Carrabis, though, the last time I played a baseball game, I committed 5 errors at first base, and Bill Lee wanted to kill me because he was pitching. So I bet he
doesn't remember it.
May have been my retirement from the game. Speaking of errors, Marcelo Meyer, big error last week. Then a hit piece comes out on Marcelo Meyer, and that's being strong, but Sean McAdam had some good reporting on Marcelo Meyer, with saying some in the organization question his willingness to play through injuries. All of a sudden, he's now injured, and we have no idea when he's going to be back. What do you make of the Meyer situation?
It's disappointing. I feel like I had really high hopes for him. I think at one point, I mean, this is, years ago at this point, but I was like, I think Meyer could have emerged to be the best out of that prospect group that had Campbell in it and Roman Anthony in it. I no longer believe that, but at one point it was looking like he was the most professional baseball player out of the group. Yeah, it just sucks because I do think that he cares, but he just has that Cali bro way of showing it where he might not be the most rah-rah, fiery guy. Like, he's not going to be Dustin Pedroia out there, but that doesn't mean that he's not good at baseball or cares about his craft. So, in this market, it's like if you're Kevin Youkilis and you smash your bat and your helmet and all that stuff, people will love you more than a guy that has a better OPS, like let's say JD Drew, that's just smooth and doesn't show the emotion. It's like in Boston, you got to break something. That's really what it comes down to, and not your own forearm.
Did they miss on Meyer? Very simply put, you said 3 years ago you thought he might have been the best of the group. Right now, I think there are questions about who he is as a ball player in general. Do you think they missed?
Missed as in they didn't develop him correctly?
All of the above. I mean, did they fail to develop him correctly? Did they miss on the evaluation of him in the first place? Why has he not looked like the player that we were promised when he was drafted?
So when he was drafted, he fell to the Red Sox. Like, I remember during the 21 draft, there was a lot of speculation that he could have been the 1-1. Like, he was supposedly the best player in that draft, but then he fell to the Red Sox at 4. Maybe this is why. I don't necessarily know why, but obviously that there were concerns from the teams that picked ahead of the Red Sox in that draft. If you paid attention to his minor league career, I'm not saying you, I'm just saying in general, he never really hit at any level. Like, this was not someone that, like when Christian Campbell was the flavor of the week and everyone was excited about him and he was burning up the rankings and the prospect rankings. And it's like, yeah, he was smoking the ball. Like, even like Ceddanne Rafaela, who's, we can have a conversation about how he's become as a major league hitter, but not the hitter that he was in the minor leagues. Marcelo Meyer never really had that stretch where it was like, oh wow, like we might have something here. Like this guy's the real deal at the plate. It was kind of just like, yeah, he's a pretty good hitter and smooth defensively. And I feel like I've just was always kind of hoping for Dansby Swanson light with Marcelo Meyer. And if he's not going to hit, then we're not going to get that.
Are they a better baseball team without him right now?
I mean, Anthony Siegler has been quite the spark plug for this team. So if Siegler's the guy that you're viewing as the replacement, then yes. Yes.
All right, 617-779-0985. How about Ralph in Cranston? Hi, Ralph.
Hey, guys. Meyer, first of all, Meyer needs to put on 12 pounds of muscle in the offseason. He's weak. He doesn't hit for power. And then bring him back, put him at third base because that's where he belongs. I've seen last year and the year before. This guy's an amazing third base. That's his position. But when it comes to this team, I look at it. Now, you mentioned nostalgia. And something about this team makes me think of those Baltimore Orioles with those 420-game winners. You build a team with pitching. I could give two good craps whether this team makes the playoffs or not, where they're going to be the wild card. What people don't seem to get is what they're building here. They're building a tough team from the bottom. Now, Breslo's getting booed and this and that, but, I mean, did Durbin hit a home run last night, guys? I didn't watch it. Did Durbin hit a home run, too?
I'll let you go on that, Ralph. Are the Red Sox building something, Jared? Is Craig Breslow building something?
It's tough to answer. Like, he's building good pitching infrastructure. Like, I get that it's popular and it's in and it's trendy to just Breslow's all bad. Like, he built like they just had Clay Buchholz was in the box the other night on Sunday night when Sonny Gray was going for his no-hitter against the Yankees, and it's like, man, it's been 18 years since we've seen a no-hitter. It's like Clay Buchholz and John Lester were the last pitchers that the Red Sox developed. That was almost 20 years ago. And then you fast forward to 2026, and here we are, Jake Bennett, Connolly Early, Peyton Tolley. And, if you want to be cynical about it, you'd be like, all right, but he's developing pitching, but he's oddly specifically only developing left-handed pitching. Like, there's no right-handed pitching that he's developed either. So yeah, sure, like fair criticism, but I can't sit here and say he's been completely useless. He brought in Wilson Contreras. He brought in Sonny Gray. It's not been a complete dud, but do I think that he's the guy that should be at the helm of this thing moving forward? Do I think he's building something? Partly. But until you have a player who is drafted and developed, I'm talking position players. So I'm looking at you, Christian Campbell, Marcelo Meyer, and Roman Anthony, and even Franklin Arias until he gets here. We don't know. Until you have a position player who has come up through the ranks here and been developed under the coaches that were hired under his watch, then I can't say that he's building something. You need position players. You can't just have a bunch of really good left-handed pitchers.
All right, we'll continue. 617-779-0985. Couple open phone lines right now. You can grab them. Jared Carabas from Section 10 and Baseball is Dead is here. Speaking of that, you said something that I'm just seeing now coming across my feed, Carabas. Something you said on Baseball is Dead that I want to see if we can turn around and ask you about. We'll do that coming up next. Something about Alex Cora in his future, and could he potentially return to Boston? Get into that next. Matt McCarthy, Jared Carabas in for Mazz.
read on it based on just all context clues. I put it this way. Actually, no, because then people will aggregate it. Like, I don't feel like it's a 0% chance that he never works for the organization again. I just don't.
That was not the line. That was not the line to use there. Yeah. That's the tweet.
I don't feel like
graphic, Tyler. You think?
Yeah, full blown.
I don't feel like it's 0%. He's just he's
feel like
too
0% chance that he ever. Okay.
He's too. They're playing footsie under the table right now. It feels like
coming back to.
I don't see a for sale sign on the house in Boston either. All
right, Jared Carrabis is with us tonight. That was him on Baseball is Dead. He's not going to get away with Milliken not asking the hard-hitting, tough follow-up questions.
It's like, oh my God, shut up. He's giving you information. Like, get out of the way so I can get nice and clean for the show.
What's the information, Jared? You think Alex Cora, there's a chance he comes back. What do you know?
I like I said, I was like, I don't want it to get aggregated. It was just my my gut take at the time that I don't think it's a 0% chance. I think it was coming off of when Willier and Wilson and I think Ranger were outside doing the fundraising for Venezuela, and AC quote tweeted or something, and he was like, "Oh, the Red Sox do it the right way. The Red Sox are the best." Like I just feel like he hasn't cut that tie yet in a way that I think a fired manager would or should. So I know the man, and I know that everything is calculated. Like there's a reason for everything. There's a reason for every action. It's like Jimmy. It's like Triple H. Like he's not just inserting things in the background for no reason. Like everything has a purpose and everything has a reason when it comes to Alex Cora. So yeah, it's just my personal belief. There's no inside information there.
Sure. I mean, you just know him very, very well, but it's just your personal belief.
Oh my God, there's the look. Jared's giving the look, the smirk. There it is.
For what role?
I would say it would be upstairs. I'm not saying he's going to replace Craig Breslow or anything like that, but I do think that if he were to rejoin the organization, it would be upstairs. Yeah.
But there is actually precedent for this ownership group to hire somebody to be on top of the general manager spot. Remember, Ben Charrington was the GM, and they hired Dave Dombrowski. So they could hire somebody. They could hire a president because Breslow's a vice president of baseball ops or whatever. So they could bring in Alex Cora to be Breslow's boss.
Let me ask you this, Jared. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Yeah. Why don't you add your thoughts to that?
Well, I was just going to say, like, it would be quite the I guess, babyface turn. I don't know that he was ever heel, but just like the reveal that, the chair turns around and Alex Cora is sitting in it. He's like, I'm actually your boss now.
It was me, Breslow. It was me all along, Breslow.
You think he would, in any capacity, work with the man who fired him, in Craig Breslow?
Yeah. I think if the power dynamic shifted and he had the final say in the matter, yeah, I do.
You think Craig Breslow would put up with that?
I'm sure it would be a shot to the ego a little bit, but I genuinely believe that Craig Breslow wants what's best for the Red Sox organization. I don't like that might be a situation where it's like, yeah, this organization ain't big enough for the both of us. You'd probably have to, go back on your word and pick Cora over Breslow, but again, this was not sources. This was not, I'm hearing things. I was just seeing how he was still tweeting about the team. Like, when he tweeted about the Raffy thing, and he knew that would get a nice little babyface pop from the Red Sox fans. And then, tweeting about, oh, look at how the Red Sox do it. They do it the best. Does that sound like someone that's looking to manage the Mets anytime soon? I don't know. Just saying.
Do you think Alex Cora is positioning himself to run baseball operations for the Boston Red Sox, or trying to in any way behind the scenes?
I don't think he's angling for the chair. I just think he wants to still help. I still think he cares about the Boston Red Sox. I still think that he thinks/knows that he can help in a big way. What that role is, I don't know. It's the same thing with the conversation when Sam Kennedy publicly said, yeah, we've been trying to get Dustin Pedroia to take a job over here. And like, do you think that Dustin Pedroia is going to take the Buster Posey role? You think Pedroia is going to come over here and just run the baseball operations? No, but he's someone that can help with his knowledge and his ability to recruit and change the culture. Like, I don't know what that job title is or what that position is, but clearly they had something in mind with Pedroia, and for whatever position they would in the future have in mind for Alex Cora, yeah, I don't think it's crazy. I really don't.
I want you to put your personal relationship with Cora beside on this, Jared.
I don't even know the guy.
Should the Red Sox want to get back into the Alex Cora business?
Yeah. Yes. Like, I think that is someone that there are people that look at organizations and say, like, man, that'd be a great opportunity for me to build a resume, and if I succeed here, then I can get a job anywhere, or I can take the GM job here, and then I can become a president of baseball operations somewhere else. I think you'd be very hard pressed to find a guy who is sitting there saying, like, I care about the Boston Red Sox. Like, I want to win for the Boston Red Sox. And how many times have we had conversations about, yeah, it's not really the most desirable place in the world because of how the revolving door has gone with general managers and baseball executives and what have you. Yeah, I'm not saying that no one would take a job over here. It's still a desirable market, yes, but it doesn't have the best reputation in the world. I think we can all agree to that point. But yeah, would I be excited if they found a role for him somewhere? And I'm not saying that like Breslow has to go for Alex Cora to come back in or whatever. It's just, yeah, I do think that there is still some value there if it's not the managerial role, that yes, like having him in the mix is a good thing.
Does he want to manage again, or does he want to go into the front office somewhere?
You're asking me that like I know the guy. I don't know him.
What do you think he wants then?
It's a great question. I would have, at the time, after the firing, I would have bet my life that he took the Phillies job. Like, I would have, so convinced that he was like, sure, you're going to fire me, I'll show you. Like, he's a very prideful guy, and, he's got that chip on his shoulder still, even after winning a World Series and what have you. But, and I think the way that Dave Dombrowski runs the Philadelphia Phillies is exactly how he wants a baseball team to be run. Sugar Daddy Dave. I think he wants to manage a team that has veterans. I don't think he wants to be a babysitter. I think he wants to have a group of guys that know how to be big leaguers and know how to win. So yeah, I would have bet the world that he would have taken that managerial job, but he didn't. So that's another part to, I guess, read into.
I
why
guess
didn't he?
More on to the front office, Jared. Ken Rosenthal reporting in recent days essentially that it's not if, but when Craig Breslow gets fired. Do you buy in on that? Do you have a sense as to when might be? Does he still have an opportunity to save his job here if the team continues to play good baseball the way they have over the last 5 days? What do you make of all of that?
Well, McAdam had the report where he was like, it's impossible to see a scenario where he doesn't get fired at the end of the season. I don't know. From conversations that I've had, either they're lying to my face or they believe in Craig Breslow. You know what I mean? So you've got the Ken Rosenthal report saying it's a matter of when, not if, he'll be fired. You have the Sean McAdam report saying it's impossible to imagine a scenario where he survives the offseason or the end of the season not getting fired. But yeah, conversations that I've had, it's either just, trying to put something out there to give him a false sense of security, but they'll tell you privately, like, no, we believe in Craig Breslow and we're working hard to fix this thing. And it's like, well, are you? What have you done? What have you done to fix it besides just wait for it to fix itself?
Got Ron in Worcester on the line. I do have a question I want to ask you about something that happened over the weekend, but we'll get to Ron first. Hey, Ron.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Listen, as far as Cora is concerned, I'm glad they're gone. A lot of people are glad they're gone, and I'm sure Mazz thinks the same way. If they want to bring anybody back in some kind of a situation, managing or something like that, I think Varitek would be the guy. Thank you very much. Bye.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Another call for Jason Varitek. More support. We've never
Been
ever
taking
received
those
a
calls
call.
since 2012.
Yeah, exactly. How is Jason doing? Do you have a sense about that, Jared?
I don't know him personally either.
If you had to guess how Jason Varitek's doing, what would your guess be?
If I were to just guess, I guess he's doing pretty good. Yeah, he's enjoying the summer and getting to spend time with his family, but still, locked in on the game. Still a baseball rat, still a baseball lifer. So, but that would be my guess.
How do you think Jarren Duran's doing right now, following the latest?
I don't know him
incident
either.
Where nothing happened. Yeah, exactly. If you had to guess, Jared, on how Jarren is doing, what would you make of that situation?
If I had to guess, I would say he's having a rough time this year. My best guess would be that he is someone that is very hard on himself and is his biggest critic and cannot let things go. And if he has a bad game, is not someone that has the ability to flush it and will go home and just think about it over and over and over again and punish himself. I think he's too hard on himself, but I don't know. I think that there's a healthy mix. Obviously, I want someone that cares. I want someone that isn't all right, well, that's great. Where are we going to get dinner tonight? I want someone that cares, but he almost cares too much to a fault.
Does he have a future with the Red Sox beyond this year or even sooner?
Well, if you were to read the reports, it's a lot of teams that are saying that they don't value the player, and he's having a down year. It's been a bad year for Jarren Duran. He would tell you that himself. So yeah, I think the Red Sox stance right now is hoping that he can rebuild his value here, because if Jarren Duran is able to rebuild his value with the Red Sox, that is more valuable to you than whatever you're going to get for him if you trade him today.
Got that right. Well, Jared, that pretty much does it for the program tonight. I know you don't know many people, but I just want to say I'm happy I know you, and I'm happy to acknowledge you, and I appreciate you, as always, taking a few minutes with us.
Thank you, Matt McCarthy. That is very heartwarming for you to say. I acknowledge you as well as Tyler Milliken's baseball podcast travel chief. I acknowledge you.
That's true, and he is my baseball wife. And don't you ever forget that, Jared.
You can have him. You can have him.
We'll take him back. We'll always take him. Our guy Mill. I don't know if Jimmy will. I don't know if Jimmy will. He's turned on Milliken, so he's gone. I believe you and Carabas would that be called going heel? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Although I could justify that Tyler went heel on me by not responding to me.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
So my actions are justified, as they usually are.
That's right.
They always are. Hey, Carabas, thanks a lot. Appreciate it as always. Check out Section 10, Baseball is Dead, where you get more nuggets like the Alex Cora nugget that we played for you a few minutes ago. Have a great weekend, Carabas. Happy 4th. And you know what? I hope for your sake the Red Sox continue to play better baseball, because as somebody who watches all 162, you deserve not to be kicked in the balls every single night. So I hope.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I do appreciate that. And happy 4th.
All right, happy 4th. He's Jared Carabas. He's Jimmy Stewart. Kevin Majori, thanks a lot for the help. Aurora, thanks for the help as well. I'm Matt McCarthy. We have Joe Murray coming up next. Is that right? Thumbs up on Joe Murray. Skaz in the house. We got the Joe Show coming your way. Hey, have a great rest of your night. See ya.
Stay tuned for more The Baseball Hour with Tony Mazz.
Does your home need a new roof? Get a free estimate today from Connell Roofing, the leading Massachusetts roofing company. Book your estimate today. Head to ConnellRoofing.com now.
Quality